McDonald's, Walmart, Starbucks, Wendy's, so many massive US companies are now accepting Bitcoin, which is absolutely huge news and massive for the wider adoption of Bitcoin. G'day, I'm Ben from Collective Shift, coming to you today from Miami, Florida. We've just wrapped up the Bitcoin Miami conference, which has been absolutely huge. Unfortunately, I'm still a bit under the weather, so I haven't been able to attend all the days, but I went to the music conference yesterday, Bitcoin's first ever music festival. It was absolutely bananas and just such a well-run conference. I haven't been to one of these big conferences before. I've been to a few in Australia, but man, this is 100 times bigger, 25,000 people. The organization of the whole thing was just unbelievable. The speakers were great. The conference was great. The venue was great. Really unbelievable. So if you're a Bitcoiner like me, and I bought the Bitcoin merch with Lightning Network, which I'm going to show you in a second, but I do recommend you come over next year and attend this event. It just truly was something magical in the energy and just the vibe and just everything that you can see, the passion and the excitement that's being built on Bitcoin and in Bitcoin at the moment, just really exciting. So let's get into some of the biggest news today, which was announced at the conference recently, which was the McDonald's, Starbucks, Chipotle, Walmart, some of these biggest US companies are now accepting Bitcoin through the Lightning Network. So the CEO of Strike, Jack Mallers, at the conference announced that they are integrating with some of the biggest payment processors, including NCR and Blackhawk, as well as Shopify. So they're integrating at the payment processor level, at the sales point. A lot of these companies in the US use this Blackhawk and NCR as a payment processor, and now you can use Lightning through those gateways, which is huge. The biggest reason behind that is to remove the middleman. So the Lightning Network, basically the Bitcoin payment layer, is a new way of upgrading the legacy financial system that hasn't been upgraded in over 49 years. Now, this is really, really important. So at the moment, to use, any sort of payment system, you can go to, the shop and you're using your Visa card or your MasterCard, and there's a delay. So, for us as a business, for example, if we accept credit card payments, we have to wait 3 or 4 or 5 days for that money to arrive, minus all the fees that the gateway charges. So I know for us that we use Stripe, I think it's like 1.9% or 2%. PayPal's like 3% that you're losing on the fees, whereby using the Lightning Network, me as a user or consumer can send sats or Bitcoin across the Lightning Network, and it's received by the merchant, and the merchant can decide if they want to receive that in sats or if they want to receive it in dollars. So it's no different for the merchant, but the positives for the merchant is that they're going to get it instantly with no fees and no middleman. So it's huge upside. So this payment network that the legacy system has been using, that Jack Mallers has been honing in on, hasn't been updated in 50 years, and the Lightning Network fixes that. You can see a little video I did here at the conference. I paid in Lightning Network. I paid for this t-shirt here. It arrived within seconds. The merchant receives that money straight away, and there's no middleman. And I think this is the future of the Lightning Network and the Bitcoin network payment infrastructure, that more and more users, more and more merchants are going to be using the Lightning Network because of the benefits. Now, it's not going to happen in the short term. This will take a long time for more and more people to adopt this, as they realize you don't necessarily need to receive Bitcoin. You can change that to dollars or fiat at the other end. But the new payment train tracks, the new system that it's using, is so much better than the old legacy system with those intermediaries. So super, super bullish on that front. We've also seen the likes of Robinhood come out and start to accept Lightning Network on their platform. Kraken also recently announced an integration. Obviously, El Salvador already uses Bitcoin and Lightning for their transactions. Twitter relies on the Lightning payments to their tipping feature. So more and more people are starting to adopt the Lightning Network, which is really exciting. To wrap up the Bitcoin conference, Peter Thiel also had a really good speech. He threw cash in the crowd. He basically pulled out some US dollars and said, "Who wants this? No one wants it," and threw it in the crowd. Funnily enough, some people in the crowd wanted that cash, so I don't think his joke really worked there. And also threw a lot of insults towards some of the traditional finance and tech industry at the conference. Some of those people he included were Warren Buffett, calling him a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha. JP Morgan and Chairman Jamie Dimon from BlackRock, CEOs Larry Fink, joined Buffett on Thiel's list of enemies who he wanted to expose. He was accusing these three finance moguls of facilitating a system that harbors institutional and political biases against Bitcoin. Also calling central banks bankrupt, and we're at the end of a fiat regime, Thiel declared. So he was super passionate. He was throwing a lot of stuff. Obviously a very Bitcoin believer. He's anti-Ethereum, anti-everything else but Bitcoin, but he was super passionate. It was a really good speech. You should check it out online if you want to listen to that. So all the Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary was a lot about mining and also government legislation in this article. He was talking about how mining in crypto will save the world, and how a lot of the excess energy that is being used in different factories across the world are starting to move towards more sustainable energy sources, and will start to look to mine Bitcoin because it's cheaper and better for the environment, and the incentives are actually better than some of the other things that some of these areas are actually producing. So the University of Cambridge estimates that roughly 39% of Bitcoin mining uses sustainable energy sources already, such as hydroelectric and solar, nuclear, and wind power. And we also just heard that Blockstream and block analyst Tesla break ground on a Bitcoin mine. So Tesla will provide solar and storage technology that Texas-based mine to start producing Bitcoin, which is really, really bullish. Now, another takeaway from the Bitcoin conference, there was so many mining companies. I'm not a miner myself and I haven't mined Bitcoin before, but it was astronomical the amount of mining solutions and companies that were actually at this conference. And I think mining is going to continue to be at the forefront of conversations, with more of the traditional companies starting to transition their energy because they're incentivized more to produce Bitcoin than their other products because of the incentivization mechanisms on there. So yeah, really exciting that front as well. Into price action, we've seen a bit of a decrease in Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin does actually, funnily enough, tend to go down every year around the conference. Again, it's important to step back and look at the upward trend we've had over the last couple of weeks, with Bitcoin running from around 38,000, which we were chopping around up to 47,500. We're now back down in the $42,000 range. I don't look too much on the short-term numbers. I continue to be long-term bullish, and a lot of the correlation is not only in Bitcoin but other markets as well. Over the last 30 days, if you can see this, the two lines here, the orange is Bitcoin and the blue is the NASDAQ. You basically think you're trading the same thing. The correlation of 0.90 over the last 30 days, which is super, super correlated, and continue to be correlated with that market until we have a bit of a breakout. So a lot of traders still trading Bitcoin, which is pushing the volatility around. Again, we're not too concerned over the short term. The on-chain metrics continue to still be really bullish. We're at all-time high levels of supply held by hodlers, which is super bullish. And just generally, being at this conference, and as Michael Saylor said, the talent and the passion of the Bitcoin conference is just unbelievable. Honestly, coming over here for the first time, I was blown away by the amount of people. Just having a Bitcoin music festival, people in the crowd with El Salvador t-shirts on, and hodl t-shirts. It was truly, for a Bitcoin believer like myself, it was just awesome. It was just an amazing experience, and something I'll always remember. And yeah, the Bitcoin magazine did a great job at the Bitcoin conference. So that'll wrap up for me today, guys. We have had a little feature upgrade on the Collective Shift member platform. We've now got our top tutorials in there. So if you're just starting out in crypto and don't know where to start, you can head over to Collective Shift and sign up for a 14-day free trial, and you'll get all of our research, analysis, education, as well as our investments, where you can see exactly what we're buying in the short term, medium, and long term, which have been performing really, really well. Especially our early stage crypto opportunities has been absolutely smashing it recently, which has been awesome for members. So that's all for me today, guys. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Apart from that, I'll chat to you again tomorrow. Thanks, and bye for now.